A great white shark vanished in the open ocean. No alarm, no signal, just one final data point showing it was swallowed whole by something far bigger. Meanwhile, a few thousand meters deeper, a creature like a living membrane drifted through the dark. No eyes, no bones. Yet somehow, it shape-shifted, and then came the sounds. Calls that no whale ever answered. Flashes of light like coded messages, but who were they meant for creatures with names, but no relatives, like the vampire squid, like the goblin shark, like a deep resonating bloop that made even NASA look down, not up. The problem isn't that we don't understand the ocean. It's that some things down there refuse to be understood. So here's the question. If none of these strange phenomena are connected, why do they all keep showing up in the same place, deep where light never touches? This is 7 mysteries from the deepest depths, where every theory blushes in the face of the facts. Like and subscribe if you're not ready to leave the water just yet. And tell us in the comments which one of these might just be waiting for us to call it by its real name. Imagine the unthinkable, the ocean's most fearsome predator, the great white shark. Known for its unrivaled power and hunting prowess, is suddenly brought down and devoured by something far larger. This chilling and baffling event, known as the Shark Alpha Incident, has set the scientific world abuzz with questions and theories. How could the great white, at the top of the food chain, fall prey to a creature of even greater power? The very idea of a predator capable of overpowering and consuming a great white shark challenges everything we know about the ocean's hierarchy and predator dynamics. But here's the most captivating part: if something could take down such an apex predator, could there be a creature even more terrifying, lurking in the deep, far beyond anything we've ever imagined? In this exploration, we'll dive into the mystery of the Shark Alpha Incident, investigating the possibility of an unseen, colossal predator that may have existed for centuries, hidden beneath the surface. So, what do you think about the Shark Alpha Incident? Is it possible that a giant, more powerful creature than the great white shark is lurking in the deep, unexplored regions of the ocean? Do you have any theories about what this creature might be? Feel free to share your thoughts and hypotheses in the comments below. Before delving into the possibility of a larger predator, it is important to fully understand the dominance of the great white shark in the ocean. With a length of up to 20 feet and a weight exceeding 5 pounds, the great white shark is the largest predatory fish in the world, asserting its position at the top of the marine food chain. Great whites primarily hunt seals, large fish, and even other sharks. What sets them apart is their exceptional sensory abilities, such as detecting the electrical pulses of prey through specialized organs. With speeds reaching 25 miles per hour in short bursts, coupled with powerful jaws and serrated teeth like knives, the great white shark is truly a perfect hunting machine. With few rivals in its environment, the great white has survived for millions of years, symbolizing evolutionary success in the ocean. However, the idea of a larger creature capable of defeating and consuming the great white challenges our entire understanding of predator-prey relationships in the ocean. If this is true, it would open a new chapter in marine animal research, forcing us to reconsider the role of the great white shark in the marine ecosystem. The Shark Alpha Incident suggests the existence of a predator far larger than the great white, one that has escaped detection by science. This predator could be an unknown species or an existing species that has evolved into a much larger form. The presence of such a creature would alter our understanding of marine ecosystems and predator dynamics. Killer whales, orcas, the likely predators. Orcas, or killer whales, are considered the most plausible candidates for the predator in the shark alpha incident. Orcas are highly powerful and intelligent predators, known for their ability to coordinate in groups to overpower prey much larger than themselves. They are famous for hunting and killing great white sharks, particularly targeting their livers, which are rich in nutrients. Using sophisticated group strategies, orcas can overwhelm other predatory animals, including great whites. One of their effective tactics involves flipping the shark upside down, inducing a state of tonic immobility which temporarily paralyzes the shark. At this point, the killer whales can easily access and consume the shark's liver. However, despite their ability to overpower great white sharks, orcas typically do not eat the entire live shark. They usually focus on nutrient-rich organs like the liver and leave the rest of the shark behind. This is a crucial distinction when comparing it to the shark alpha incident. In this case, reports suggest that the predator did not just kill the great white, but had enough strength to consume its entire body. This raises a significant question about the true nature of the predator involved. Could it be an orca, or is there an even larger, previously unknown predator capable of killing and fully consuming a great white shark? The most intriguing possibility is the idea that a creature even larger than the orca exists in the ocean. Could there be a giant predator lurking in the deep, capable of overpowering and consuming a great white shark whole? The ocean remains largely unexplored, and vast portions of it remain a mystery. Some marine biologists have speculated that this predator could be a giant squid or even a predatory whale species that has evolved to dominate the ocean. The idea of a creature capable of defeating and consuming a great white shark challenges everything we know about marine predator-prey dynamics. Such a predator could have lived undetected for centuries, feeding on large creatures without ever being discovered. The lack of direct evidence only adds to the mystery surrounding the incident. To date, no physical traces of the predator or the great white shark have been discovered. However, there have been reports of large, unexplained bite marks on the shark's carcass. These bite marks are much larger than anything a great white could inflict, suggesting that a much larger creature could be the culprit. This raises an important question. Could there be a predator larger than all the known species today? The predator involved in this incident would need to be significantly larger than any known marine predator. This prompts us to wonder how such a creature could have remained hidden for so long without being detected. Could it be living in the deepest, unexplored parts of the ocean, areas that humans have yet to reach? If so, this would open up exciting possibilities for future exploration, potentially leading to the discovery of new species that could completely alter our understanding of marine biology. The ocean, with much of it still a mystery, could hold groundbreaking discoveries that may change the way we perceive marine ecosystems. The Shark Alpha incident underscores how little we truly know about the vast and mysterious world beneath the ocean's surface. The possibility of a larger predator responsible for the death and consumption of the great white raises important questions about the ocean's depths and the creatures inhabiting them. Whether it's an orca, a giant squid, or an entirely unknown species, the concept of a predator capable of consuming a great white opens up new avenues for research. In conclusion, the Shark Alpha incident highlights the untold mysteries of the ocean and the potential for discovering more terrifying creatures in the future. until more evidence emerges. The story of the great white shark being eaten alive by something larger will continue to captivate our imaginations and fuel scientific debate. The ocean remains one of the last frontiers for scientific exploration, with hidden wonders and dangers yet to be revealed. Hidden in the depths of the ocean, far beyond the reach of sunlight, lies a creature so mysterious that it has baffled scientists for decades: Deepstaria. This elusive deep-sea organism possesses a mind-boggling ability to shapeshift, an extraordinary trait that distinguishes it from almost every other living being on Earth. With its translucent, gelatinous body, Deepstaria appears like something out of a science fiction novel, constantly morphing in response to its environment. Its uncanny ability to transform its form, sometimes barely visible, other times ballooning into eerie, fluid shapes, challenges everything we know about biology. Despite years of research, Deepstaria remains an enigma, an alien-like marvel that defies the rules of the natural world, urging us to reconsider what life can truly look like in the most extreme environments. What do you think about Deepstaria's ability to shapeshift? How do you imagine such a creature could survive in the extreme depths of the ocean? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. At the heart of the mystery of Deepstaria lies its ability to shapeshift. This creature is often described as a shape-shifting membrane, demonstrating the extraordinary adaptability of life in the deep ocean. The body of Deepstaria is made up of a flexible, almost completely transparent membrane with no solid structure. This allows its body to stretch and contract easily, with a flexibility that has astonished many scientists. Unlike creatures that rely on rigid structures such as bones or shells, Deepstaria can change its form, depending on its environment and immediate needs. At times, it can become nearly invisible, blending perfectly into its surroundings. At other times, it can stretch and expand, forming a large, balloon-like shape. This shape-shifting ability serves not only for camouflage, but also for vital survival purposes. The ability to change form may be a key evolutionary trait, helping it adapt to the harsh conditions of the deep ocean, where light is almost non-existent and pressure is immense. The deep ocean is a harsh environment, with extreme pressure, freezing temperatures, and scarce resources. Most other deep-sea creatures have adapted to these conditions with specialized body structures to withstand pressure or conserve energy. However, Deepstaria does not rely on such rigid adaptations. Instead, its flexible, ever-changing body provides maximum adaptability, allowing it to respond quickly and effectively to environmental challenges, whether moving, hunting, or simply surviving. Deepstaria thrives in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. What sets Deepstaria apart is that it does not have a fixed body plan. While most creatures have a defined body structure with rigid components, Deepstaria exists in a state of constant change. It has no fixed form, allowing it to alter its shape as needed. This fluidity and movement has caught the attention of biologists, who view it as a prime example of survival through flexibility, a strategy that nature has perfected. The ability to shapeshift allows it to survive and thrive in an environment where other creatures may not be able to adapt. Deepstaria thrives in the abyss of the ocean, a place where light is non-existent and pressure is immense. Its ability to change shape is crucial to its survival in this environment, as it must constantly adapt to the extreme conditions. The deep ocean is difficult to study, partly because of its inaccessibility. At these depths, The pressure is overwhelming, and the temperature is near freezing. Very few creatures can survive here, and those that do must be highly specialized. Unlike other deep-sea creatures with fixed body plans, Deepstaria's flexible structure allows it to move with ease in this harsh environment. Its ability to change shape may help it conserve energy, giving it an edge in an ecosystem where every resource is precious. Its shape-shifting capacity could also serve as a form of camouflage, helping it avoid predators or catch prey. In the pitch-black depths, where sight is often irrelevant, blending in with the surroundings could mean the difference between life and death. This shape-shifting ability also aids in evading threats. The creature can change its size and shape rapidly, potentially confusing predators that rely on physical appearance to identify prey. By morphing, Deepstaria can escape attacks, adding another layer of survival to its already unique adaptations. Although Deepstaria draws attention, its biology remains a major mystery. Its transparent, shapeless body makes it difficult to study, preventing detailed classification or observation. While other organisms can be categorized based on organs and body structures, Deepstaria lacks these characteristics, presenting scientists with fundamental questions about its biological makeup. Without a hard skeleton or exoskeleton, it blurs the lines between traditional biological classifications, complicating its categorization. One of the most notable features of Deepstaria is its shape-shifting ability, seemingly controlled by a system of muscle-like structures within its body membrane. These structures allow the creature to control its elasticity and alter its shape at will. This mechanism is crucial for survival in the harsh conditions of the deep ocean, where flexibility can be a matter of life or death. However, the exact function of these structures remains unclear, and the lack of specific research leaves much of Deepstaria's behavior and physiology speculative. Understanding this mechanism could expand our knowledge of the evolution of flexibility, an important survival trait in the deep sea. Deepstaria represents the untapped potential of life in the deep ocean. While many of the world's oceans remain unexplored, creatures like Deepstaria offer a glimpse into the evolutionary innovations that have arisen in response to extreme conditions. Its ability to shapeshift is not just a biological curiosity, but an evolutionary marvel that may teach us valuable lessons about survival and adaptability. As exploration of the deep sea continues, we may uncover even more creatures like Deepstaria that defy traditional biological classifications. These discoveries could open new possibilities for life on Earth and expand our understanding of the natural world. The study of such enigmatic creatures will not only enrich our knowledge of life on this planet, but also inspire further exploration of the ocean's vast, mysterious depths. In conclusion, Deepstaria is a living paradox, a creature that defies biological norms with its shape-shifting membrane. Thriving in one of the most hostile environments on Earth, as research into this enigma continues, scientists will undoubtedly learn more about how life has adapted to survive in the deep sea, where change is not just a necessity, but a survival strategy. Deepstaria reminds us that the ocean still holds many mysteries, and much remains to be discovered in its dark, unexplored corners. In the depths of the ocean, where light cannot reach and sound is the only language there echoes a call that has persisted for more than 30 years. It's not the cry of a blue whale. It's not the song of a humpback. It's a strange, solitary sound, emitted at a frequency no known species has ever used and no creature has ever responded to. A call at 52 Hz, higher than any known whale voice. Since its discovery, this call has never been answered. It appears each migration season, traveling thousands of kilometers, yet remains utterly alone in its acoustic world. People have named this being the 52 Hertz whale, but to this day, no one knows what it is. There's no photo, no carcass, no DNA. One thing is certain, it's alive and it's calling. But no species is answering. What do you think about this mysterious creature? Could it be an undiscovered species of whale, a lone individual with a vocal mutation, or perhaps even evidence of an entirely separate evolutionary branch silently surviving in the deep ocean for millions of years? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Do you believe in a scientific explanation, or do you feel this is something beyond human understanding? In 1989, during an underwater submarine surveillance operation, the United States Navy unexpectedly detected a strange acoustic signal. It originated from the deepest parts of the ocean and had the tonal qualities of a whale song, but with one inexplicable difference: its frequency was 52 Hertz, significantly higher than that of any known whale species. While blue whales, the largest animals on Earth, typically communicate at frequencies between 10 and 20 Hertz, and fin whales range from 15 to 30 Hertz, the 52 Hertz signal lies entirely outside these biological norms. To the human ear, the sound resembles faint, low-pitched vibrations from a subwoofer, not completely inaudible, but still difficult to perceive. In the years that followed, this sound continued to reappear in regular cycles, especially during migration seasons, almost as if a lone individual were retracing the same journey. It traveled thousands of kilometers across the ocean, yet remained a solitary voice, a singular path, from a creature no one has ever seen. This mysterious repetition left scientists puzzled. If it's a whale, why is it so different? And if it isn't a whale, then what is it? Perhaps the most haunting thing about the 52 Hertz creature isn't just its loneliness, but the fact that, even to this day, we have absolutely no idea what it is. No one has ever seen it. There are no satellite images, no underwater footage, and no stranded whale carcass with a vocal system that matches the 52 Hertz call. All we have is a series of deep-sea acoustic signals, recorded by hydrophone systems as if this creature exists only as sound, with no physical form. Since its discovery, many theories have been proposed, but none with solid evidence to confirm them. Some scientists believe it could be a blue whale with a mutation in its vocal organ, causing its calls to deviate completely from the species' normal communication frequency. Others suggest that it might be a hybrid between a blue whale and a fin whale, resulting in a unique acoustic signature that matches no known species. However, more daring researchers have even proposed a third possibility, that this being could be an entirely undocumented species, a separate evolutionary branch, surviving for millions of years without ever being discovered, like a ghost of evolution drifting silently in the depths of the ocean. All these theories are intriguing and at the same time hopeless. They point to a sobering reality. While humanity has sent spacecraft to Mars and launched probes beyond the edge of the solar system, we still can't identify the source of this lonely call, this nameless, faceless creature that continues to sing, again and again, like a question that no one can answer. Scientists have never ruled out the possibility that the 52 Hertz whale is the representative of an entirely new species, a creature never described or documented in any biological records. This hypothesis becomes even more plausible when we consider that over 80% of Earth's oceans remain unexplored by humans. A whale species could very well exist in isolation, inhabiting deep or remote waters, following mysterious migratory routes that evade conventional radar and hydroacoustic detection. If this is true, the 52 Hz whale is not just a strange anomaly, it could be a living remnant of an independent evolutionary branch, one that escaped extinction and has remained hidden in the darkness of the ocean for millions of years. It may not simply be a lonely individual, but rather a missing piece in the story of life's evolution on Earth. What makes the 52 Hz whale legendary is not just its mysterious identity, but rather its absolute solitude in the underwater world of sound. For whales, sound isn't just a means of navigation, it's a lifeline. They sing to find mates, call their pods, defend territory, and maintain social bonds. But this 52 Hz creature sings in vain, no species answers. No individual draws near, as if it were speaking a language no one understands. Its call repeats again and again, echoing through endless silence like a life cut off from all biological connection. The most terrifying thing isn't loneliness itself, but eternal loneliness with no hope of it ever ending. Year after year, this creature swims its own path, still sending its song into the quiet sea like a message forgotten in the depths of the ocean. The story of the 52 Hz whale has long transcended the boundaries of science. No longer merely a biological topic, it has become a cultural symbol appearing in documentaries, novels, musicals, and inspiring countless discussions about loneliness, connection, and identity. In 2021, the documentary The Loneliest Whale, The Search for 52, followed the journey to find this mysterious creature. Although it was never found, the film left behind a haunting question. How many beings, even humans, are out there calling into silence, with no one to answer? In an era where we are globally connected through the internet, social media, and technology, the 52 Hz call has become a powerful metaphor for modern loneliness. When we speak, but no one truly listens. When we live among crowds, yet feel as if we're using a frequency no one else can understand. Is the 52 Hz whale still alive today? Has it ever encountered another creature that shares its frequency? Or has it always been a solitary being, a biological orphan of evolution? No one has the answer. But one thing is certain, the 52 Hz call remains an unsolved mystery. Not only in the realm of biology, but also in the deeper layers of human emotion. It represents a creature lost from the map of life. Yet it continues to call out, continues its journey even though no one responds, even though the entire world remains silent. Deep beneath the surface of our oceans lies a world cloaked in perpetual darkness, a place where sunlight never reaches, where pressure crushes, and where the rules of biology appear rewritten. Here, in the crushing black void of the abyss, life has found a way not only to survive, but to shine. These are the bioluminescent creatures, organisms capable of producing light from within their bodies. Their glow pierces the darkness in fleeting pulses and ghostly flashes, a soft green shimmer from a jellyfish's bell, a rapid-fire blink from a tiny shrimp, a slow, undulating pulse from a giant squid moving silently through the deep. The light they emit is not reflected. It is born a chemical fire lit inside living flesh, elegant and eerie. But the question that haunts researchers, explorers, and dreamers alike is deceptively simple. They signal, but to who? We know that light costs energy. In the deep sea, energy is scarce. Food is rare. Every calorie is precious. So why would a creature go to the trouble of glowing unless the glow meant something? Why would nature evolve light in the pitch black unless there was someone or something watching? What do you think these signals are for? Are they meant for mates, predators, allies, or something completely unknown? Could these be echoes of lost conversations or messages sent into the dark? Hoping for a reply, share your theory in the comments below. We're watching the lights, but maybe we're not the ones they're meant for. In nature, signaling is an essential part of life. On land, we see this clearly. A peacock fans its dazzling tail to attract a mate. A chameleon changes color to intimidate a rival. Or flowers bloom in vibrant hues to lure pollinating insects. All of these signals share one basic requirement: light. They must be seen to be effective. A signal only works when there's someone to receive it. But in the deep ocean, where sunlight can no longer reach, that condition almost disappears. Beyond a few hundred meters deep, the world is engulfed in near total darkness. In that realm, the ability to see is a rare privilege. And it's precisely in this most lightless place that one of the strangest languages emerges. Light becomes a living language. Bioluminescence isn't a quirky side effect of evolution. It's a true form of communication. The blinking pulses, the glowing colors emitted from within, they all carry meaning. But if it's communication, then someone must be receiving it. There must be a listener, a watcher, a living creature that responds. Which brings us back to the question, who are these signals actually for? Scientists have proposed many theories. Perhaps they're mating signals like glowing fingerprints that help deep-sea fish find the right partner in the pitch-black waters. Or maybe they're bait like the anglerfish, waving its luminous lure to draw in unsuspecting prey. Others might flash light to scare off predators or create glowing smoke screens to escape. And some species glow from underneath to cancel out their own shadows, avoiding detection from below a special camouflage called counter-illumination. But even these explanations fall short. Many species produce light in extremely complex, non-repeating rhythms. Some emit faint, fleeting glows without aiming at anything. And strangest of all, some creatures glow even when there's nothing nearby. No predator, no matey, no prey. Nothing, as if they're signaling into the void with no clear target and no one to answer. Why would evolution favor such wasteful behavior? Could it be that this light isn't meant for ordinary eyes? Or is there a receiver we've never known? Imagine speaking into the void, over and over again, not knowing if anyone is listening. Now imagine that some creature has been doing this for millions of years, and not only has it never stopped, but it has evolved to send signals that are brighter, more complex, and increasingly refined. This is the paradox of light in the deep ocean, a communication system that has grown powerful in complete silence. Could these signals be directed toward life forms that humans have never discovered? Could there be an entire biological network built on this language of light that we've completely overlooked, simply because we lack the tools to see it? Or perhaps some of these signals are merely echoes of lost conversations, sent by species that once existed but are now extinct. And if we take the thought further, what if the intended receiver is no longer a living creature at all? What if this light was never meant for human eyes? Bioluminescent life often feels like science fiction. Eyeless creatures with pulsating bodies, transparent fish with glowing intestines, tentacled beings that write equations in the dark. These aren't exaggerations, they're scientific observations. And the farther we descend, the stranger things get. Some deep-sea creatures glow red, a rare color in ocean bioluminescence, because almost nothing else can see red in the deep. So why emit it? Are they sending private messages? Secretive warnings? Or perhaps signals not meant for us? Some researchers believe that the deep sea is Earth's closest analog to extraterrestrial life. No light, extreme pressure, alien biology. If intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe, it might look more like a deep-sea creature than a monkey with a brain. If so, our ocean is not just a frontier, it is a mirror. Could the glowing pulses in the deep be part of a universal language, one that transcends species and perhaps planets? We watch these signals with robotic eyes, submersibles, and sensors dropped miles into the deep. We record the flickers, the flashes, the eerie glow, but we don't understand the grammar. We're observers with no dictionary. In some cases, we don't even know what is making the light. The source vanishes before we can locate it. Just a flicker, a question, a presence, and in this lies the poetry and the terror of the question. They signal, but to who? Are we the unintended audience? Are we eavesdropping on conversations never meant for us? Or have we not yet arrived at the time or place where the answer will reveal itself? Bioluminescent creatures remind us that not all light is for seeing. Sometimes it is for seeking, sometimes it is for hiding, and sometimes it is for calling out into the void, in hope or desperation that something answers back. They signal, and we watch, but the question remains, glowing faintly in the abyss. To who? In the icy waters near Antarctica, on what seemed like an ordinary day in 1997, NOAA's underwater listening devices suddenly picked up a colossal sound, echoing from the depths of the ocean. It didn't resemble any sound humanity had ever recorded. Not a volcano, not ice cracking, and certainly not any known creature. It was brief, resonant, and eerily alive, as if the ocean itself had just spoken in the voice of something unnamed and ancient. They gave it a deceptively simple yet haunting name, the bloop. From that moment on, the bloop was no longer just an acoustic anomaly. It became a modern legend, a mystery that challenged everything contemporary science thought it understood. A massive whisper from the deep, and to this day, no one can say for certain was it a sound from nature, or the final trace of a prehistoric being humanity has yet to discover. Where do you think this strange sound really came from? A massive creature never before discovered. A rare natural phenomenon that science hasn't fully understood. Or maybe something beyond imagination. Do you have your own theory about the bloop? If the bloop really came from a living creature, what do you think it looked like? Do you think it's still out there? Share your theory, your thoughts, or even a story you've heard about this mysterious sound. I'll be reading every comment. One of the most astonishing aspects of the bloop is its extraordinary range. The sound was captured by NOAA's hydrophone network, which includes listening stations spread thousands of kilometers apart across the Pacific Ocean. The surprising result, the bloop traveled over 5,000 kilometers, a distance almost unheard of for any naturally occurring underwater sound. Throughout the history of acoustic research, only a few extreme events, such as massive undersea earthquakes or artificial detonations, have produced sounds powerful enough to carry that far. Yet, the bloop didn't match the acoustic profile of any known event. To put it into perspective, even the blue whale, the loudest animal on Earth, cannot produce a call that travels such vast distances. This raises a chilling and provocative question: what or who created the bloop? The origin of the bloop was traced to the southwestern Pacific Ocean. Near Antarctica, a frigid, remote region almost entirely untouched by humans. This extreme isolation only deepens the mystery, sparking the imagination of both scientists and the public. Many began to draw connections to the classic horror stories of H.P. Lovecraft, where ancient godlike entities are said to lie asleep beneath the ocean floor for millions of years. Even more strangely, the coordinates of the bloop's source are not far from the fictional location described in Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu, where a massive, supernatural being awaits awakening. While this may be nothing more than coincidence, the symbolism and eerie tone of the bloop have helped sustain theories of an undiscovered prehistoric creature, turning it into a kind of modern legend, one where the boundary between science and imagination becomes more blurred than ever before. If there's one reason why the bloop has left the scientific community puzzled for so many years, it's the nature of the sound itself, a sound that seems undeniably alive, yet doesn't match any known form of life. When acousticians and marine audio experts analyzed the bloop, most agreed on one point: the sound carried distinctly biological characteristics. It displayed smooth frequency modulation, a gradual shift in intensity, and ended with a subtle tail, a soft fade, almost like a final breath. These elements combined to make the bloop feel eerily like a call or a whisper from a massive living creature deep beneath the ocean. But the most unsettling part is this: it does not resemble the vocalizations of any known marine species. Researchers compared the bloop with hundreds of recorded calls from various whales, including bowhead whales, humpbacks, sperm whales, and even the mighty blue whale, known for being the loudest animal on Earth. None of them matched. Typical whale sounds like clicks, hums, moans, or burst pulses all had very different acoustic structures, either too fragmented, too brief, or lacking the reverberant depth that defined the bloop. It wasn't a whale. It wasn't a giant squid. It wasn't a shark. It wasn't anything science had ever catalogued from the deep sea. The bloop wasn't just powerful, it had an uncanny emotional resonance. Many specialists described it as a distant cry from an enormous, unknown biological machine, a sound that made listeners feel as if something was stirring, existing, trying to communicate. Some scientists even proposed a bold hypothesis: if the bloop truly had a biological origin, then whatever created it would have to be significantly larger than a blue whale, suggesting the possible existence of a massive, undiscovered titan still silently hiding in the ocean's deepest, darkest layers. Could it be a prehistoric survivor, a completely new form of life, unnamed and unseen? Or is it simply our imagination filling in the gaps where science has yet to reach? The answer, for now, still lies somewhere deep beneath the waves. Under pressure from the public and the scientific community, NOAA eventually released an official explanation for the bloop. The sound was most likely the result of an icequake, the fracturing of massive icebergs due to shifting pressure and temperature near Antarctica. When an enormous slab of ice breaks apart, it can generate powerful sound waves that travel long distances underwater. However, this theory failed to convince many scientists. Skeptical researchers pointed out that previously recorded icequakes typically produce dry, sharp, and fragmented sounds, lacking the smoothness, continuity, and organic quality that defined the bloop. Some even questioned Just how massive would an iceberg have to be to create a sound that feels like a living call from the depths of the ocean? Rather than solving the mystery, NOAA's explanation only fueled further doubt, suggesting that something deeper may still be missing from the picture. To this day, the bloop remains a symbol of the ocean's unsolved mysteries, a realm where humanity has explored only about 5% of its volume, while the remaining 95% lies hidden beneath darkness, crushing pressure, and freezing temperatures. In those depths may exist countless things, far beyond our current ability to observe or understand. The irony is striking. We can detect signals from galaxies billions of light years away, yet we still cannot fully explain a massive sound that echoed right here on Earth. The bloop is more than just an acoustic anomaly. It's a humbling reminder from nature that beneath our very feet lies an untouched universe. And sometimes, its whispers are strong enough to cross the ocean and tap into the deepest corners of human curiosity. Far below the ocean's surface, beyond the reach of sunlight and into the crushing darkness of the deep sea, drifts a creature with a name straight out of horror. Vampiroteuthis infernalis, literally, the vampire squid from hell. But don't let the dramatic name fool you. This isn't a blood-sucking monster, nor a terrifying predator. It's something far more mysterious and scientifically fascinating, a relic of deep-sea evolution, an ancient being cloaked in bioluminescent brilliance, and a master of survival in one of the harshest habitats on Earth. What do you think about the name vampire squid from hell? If you only heard the name Vampiroteuthis infernalis, what kind of monster would you imagine? And now that you know, it doesn't suck blood, but is actually a gentle creature drifting quietly in the dark. What surprised or impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear if your imagination was different from the strange reality of this deep-sea creature. At depths between 600 and 900 meters beneath the ocean's surface, where light completely disappears, pressure is hundreds of times greater than at sea level, and oxygen levels are nearly zero, lies a region known as the Oxygen Minimum Zone, OMZ. This is one of the harshest environments on Earth, a place where most marine life cannot survive. And yet, Vampiroteuthis infernalis, the vampire squid, not only survives here, but thrives. Its body is perfectly adapted, gelatinous and soft to withstand pressure. Blood enriched with hemocyanin to transport oxygen in low supply conditions, and an extremely low metabolism to conserve energy. In a world where life seems almost impossible, it stands as a symbol of ultimate adaptation. Beneath the seemingly familiar appearance of a squid, Vampiroteuthis infernalis is in fact a completely different kind of creature. It is neither a true squid nor an octopus, but belongs to a distinct evolutionary branch called Vampiromorpha, an ancient lineage that diverged from the common ancestor of squids and octopuses over 300 million years ago. This makes it a true living fossil, carrying genetic structures and survival mechanisms that have remained nearly unchanged for hundreds of millions of years. While most species have evolved to adapt to new environments, the vampire squid appears to have preserved its original form as if time itself had forgotten it in the depths of the ocean. One of the most unusual and mysterious features of Vampiroteuthis infernalis is its appearance, which easily evokes images of a mythical sea creature. Its body is gelatinous and highly flexible, allowing it to withstand immense water pressure, and is covered in dark-colored skin, often velvety black or deep crimson, providing perfect camouflage in the abyss. Unlike most squids, its 8 arms are not separate, but are connected by a thin membrane, forming a shape that resembles a billowing cloak, giving it the look of a ghost drifting silently through the deep sea. Yet, its most astonishing weapon lies not in its eerie shape, but in its ability to glow, a biological wonder we'll explore next. In the absolute darkness of the deep, where sunlight never reaches, Vampiroteuthis infernalis's doesn't just survive, it glows. It is a bioluminescent marvel, equipped with photophores, light-producing organs scattered across its body, most notably at the tips of its arms. These lights are not random. They're controlled, modulated, and strategic. This creature is a choreographer of its own light show. When threatened, the vampire squid unleashes a dazzling display. Its arm tips flare up with bright blue light, while its cloak fans outward in a dramatic, umbrella-like pose. It then ejects a glowing cloud, a shimmering halo of mucus laced with bioluminescent particles, into the water. This cloud can glow for several minutes, confusing and distracting predators. Unlike other cephalopods that use ink to escape, the vampire squid uses light. It is a magician of the deep, vanishing behind a curtain of sparks. Even more fascinating is how energy-efficient this strategy is. In a zone with almost no food and even less oxygen, every biological function must be optimized, and the vampire squid has perfected that balance. Its photophores can pulse, dim, brighten, or shut off entirely. It only uses its luminescence when needed, a calculated gamble between defense and conservation. This intelligent light management is not just beautiful, but essential to its survival. Bioluminescence serves multiple purposes for Vampiroteuthis infernalis. It startles predators, confuses attackers, and allows the squid to navigate, signal, or simply vanish. In the OMZ, where sight is rare and movement is slow, light is language, and the vampire squid speaks it fluently. Its name may suggest a vampire's appetite, but ironically, this creature does not hunt or drink blood. Its diet consists mainly of marine snow, a poetic term for the constant fall of organic detritus from upper ocean layers, dead plankton, fecal matter, decaying jellyfish, tiny crustaceans. Using two thin, retractable filaments, not true arms, it collects this snow like a drifting net and brings it to its mouth. In a world with few resources, it makes do with what's available, like a ghost sweeping the sea for crumbs of life. Not only does Vampiroteuthis infernalis use light to escape, it also possesses a unique and theatrical self-defense tactic. When seriously threatened, it can invert its cloak-like webbing over its head, revealing the inner side of its arms lined with soft, fleshy spines. Although these spines are completely harmless, they resemble sharp hooks, giving the illusion of a dangerous, spiky creature. This bluff tricks predators into thinking they're facing a tough, hard-to-swallow meal. It's a perfect survival performance, where the fearsome appearance is merely an illusion, a literal turning of the tables that buys the vampire squid a few precious seconds to vanish into the darkness. Not only is Vampiroteuthis infernalis strange on the outside, but it also possesses internal physiological traits that astonish scientists. Instead of using hemoglobin like humans, it relies on hemocyanin, a copper-based molecule, to transport oxygen. This gives its blood a distinctive blue color and allows it to function remarkably well in environments where oxygen is nearly absent. Moreover, the vampire squid has an extremely low metabolic rate, among the lowest of all cephalopods, enabling it to drift slowly and effortlessly. Conserving as much energy as possible, a vital survival strategy in the cold, nutrient-poor darkness of the deep sea. Perhaps most haunting is its reproductive strategy. Unlike other squid that breed and die quickly, female vampire squids can carry thousands of eggs and spawn multiple times throughout their lives, a rare trait in cephalopods. This allows for a longer, slower life cycle, fitting for a creature that seems to belong more to deep time than to modern marine life. And yet, for all we know, there's still much we don't. Observing vampire squids is notoriously difficult. They live far beyond the reach of conventional submarines, in zones that challenge even modern deep-sea robots. Much of what we know comes from occasional deep-sea trawls and rare footage captured by ROVs. In many ways, Vampiroteuthis infernalis remains as mysterious as its name suggests, a drifting enigma, pulsing with ancient light in the darkest corners of our planet. So next time you think of monsters from the deep, picture this instead, a creature without a heartbeat of horror, but with a language of light. The vampire squid doesn't haunt the sea with fangs or fury, it dances with bioluminescence, a ghost of evolution, glowing gently through the abyss. Among the strangest creatures ever discovered in the ocean's abyss, one stands out for its haunting appearance and scientific enigma: the goblin shark, Mitsukurina austoni. With its elongated snout, protrusible jaw, and translucent pinkish skin, this elusive deep-sea predator seems like a visitor from another world. But far from being a product of science fiction, the goblin shark is real and still largely a mystery. Despite having been known to science for over a century, it remains one of the least understood sharks alive today. Questions for you: what secrets do you think the goblin shark might still be hiding from science? How many other creatures like this do you think are lurking in the deep ocean, completely unknown to us? If you had the chance to see this creature in real life, how would you react? Do you believe there could be even stranger beings than the goblin shark waiting to be discovered beneath the sea? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think about this bizarre and mysterious creature. Unlike any other creature on this planet, the goblin shark doesn't strike fear through aggression, but rather through its hauntingly bizarre appearance. Most striking is its long, flat, blade-like snout, known as a rostrum, which juts forward like a natural weapon. Inside this structure lies a network of ampullae, of Lorenzini electroreceptive organs that allow it to detect the faintest electrical signals emitted by prey swimming in the cold, dark depths of the ocean. This is a vital advantage in a world without light. However, what truly makes it seem like an alien life form is its jaw that can shoot forward with astonishing speed. Unlike typical sharks, the goblin shark's jaw isn't firmly anchored to its skull. Instead, it's built like a biological spring. When prey gets close, the lower jaw launches outward, impaling the target with needle-sharp teeth before instantly snapping back. This movement is not only efficient, but deeply unsettling to witness, as if watching a carnivorous creature from another world. It remains one of the most unique predatory mechanisms known in the animal kingdom. Unlike the sleek blue-gray sharks or the armored look of other deep-sea creatures, the goblin shark has a pale pink, almost translucent body. This strange coloration doesn't come from pigments, but from blood vessels visible beneath its thin skin, creating a ghostly glow when illuminated, making the shark look like a drifting phantom of the deep. This eerie appearance has earned it nicknames like the ghost shark or a living fossil. Its body features small fins, a long tail, and slow, seemingly lifeless movements. But this is part of its perfect disguise. The goblin shark doesn't rely on speed to hunt. It is a master ambusher, gliding lazily through the dark before suddenly launching its jaw forward in a rapid strike. It's a style of hunting that's silent yet deadly, like a ghost appearing in a blink, claiming its prey before vanishing again. The goblin shark inhabits regions where sunlight never reaches the twilight and midnight zones of the ocean, typically found at depths ranging from 100 to over 1,300 meters. This is a world of eternal darkness, where immense pressure can crush any organism not perfectly adapted, and temperatures remain near freezing. Only a handful of species can survive such extreme conditions, and almost none of them have been thoroughly studied. Because it lives at such depths, the goblin shark is extremely rare. Most known specimens were either accidentally caught in deep-sea fishing nets or found washed ashore. There is almost no footage of this species alive in its natural habitat. This scarcity leaves scientists nearly powerless to understand its behavior, reproductive habits, diet, or ecological role. The goblin shark doesn't just live in the deep, it lives beyond the reach of most modern science. The goblin shark is the only living member of the Mitsukuridae family, an ancient lineage of sharks that dates back more than 100 million years, originating during the time when dinosaurs still ruled the planet. Fossil evidence shows that its ancestors once shared the oceans with gigantic marine reptiles like plesiosaurs and mosasaurs, the legendary apex predators of the Cretaceous period. However, unlike many of its extinct relatives that have been thoroughly studied through fossils, the goblin shark has silently survived for tens of millions of years, leaving behind almost no trace for modern science to follow. This evolutionary isolation makes it a living window into the prehistoric past, and at the same time, a profound mystery. It's as if nature gifted humanity a living fossil, then deliberately hid it away in the darkness, far beyond the current reach of science. Despite its extraordinary evolutionary value and alien-like anatomy, the goblin shark remains one of the least understood shark species on Earth. The issue isn't a lack of scientific interest, it's that we simply know almost nothing about how it lives. There's no verified data on its mating behavior, reproductive process, or even its birthing grounds. No one knows exactly how many exist, how fast they grow, how long they live, or what their complete diet includes. Its true ecological role in the deep-sea environment is still mostly speculation. The reason is simple: it's just too rare and too difficult to access. Goblin sharks almost never survive in captivity, and the few individuals filmed in the wild often appear disoriented by lights and human equipment. Even deep-sea submersibles rarely encounter them. This overwhelming mystery has turned the species into a symbol of everything humanity still cannot explain about the deep ocean, and a powerful reminder that even in the 21st century, vast parts of our planet remain cloaked in darkness. The mystery of the goblin shark is not just a curiosity, it's a symbol of the wider scientific ignorance surrounding the deep sea. Over 80% of our oceans remain unmapped, unobserved, and unexplored. In that darkness may lie thousands of creatures just as strange, just as ancient, just as important as the goblin shark, and we wouldn't even know. Goblin sharks might not be fast or powerful predators. They aren't top of the food chain, but their existence challenges our understanding of evolution, survival, and the resilience of life in extreme environments. More than anything, it represents an invitation, an open question from the deep that dares us to look further, dive deeper, and confront the uncomfortable truth that we've barely scratched the surface of what lives beneath the waves. So the next time you see an image of the goblin shark, with its bizarre face and pink skin, remember, this is not a monster. It's a mystery one that has waited over 100 million years to be found, and still refuses to be fully known. What other living fossils might be lurking, unseen, in the darkness of the deep? Let us know what you think in the comments below. What's the most mysterious animal you've ever heard of?